Welcome back. This is part 2 of Jeanette's 80th birthday celebration. Part 2 starts on the next day following the party, when we took a trip out to visit the Cupola Winery. Of course, the winery is famous for its wines, but it's a lot more, with a top-notch restaurant, cabin accommodations, children's recreation area, large swimming pool, and a museum containing screenwriter and film director and producer Francis Coppola's historical artifacts from the nearly 45 movies he made. Inside, the gallery of movie, cinematic classics, and other memorabilia is extensive. Here we see the actual car that was developed by Princeton Tucker and used in the movie The Man and His Dream, a film starring Jeff Bridges that was about Tucker's determination in the late 1930s and early 40s to create a futuristic car for the masses. You can't think about Francis Ford Coppola without thinking about the movie The Godfather. Here we see the desk used in the movie where Don Corleone, played by Marlon Brando, is granting a favor to the Undertaker in the opening scene. These two scale model warships were used in the movie Marie Antoinette, which was directed by Francis Coppola's daughter, Sophia. We cruised around the gallery looking at several more movie artifacts. Several of these had won Oscars and other awards. There was so much to see, but it was now time to do some wine tasting. In the tasting room, we each tried 4 different wines.
Where are you visiting from?
We're from New York.
Oh, lovely. Well, welcome. Thank you.
We got down to the serious job of picking our wines. After about what seemed like a half hour, you can see that we were really having a good time. Although Jim, like everyone else, had visited several wineries in the past, but this was his first time actually participating in the tasting experience. Billy made things easy for Jim. He was eager to show him how it's done.
Could you take one? Could you take one? Could you take one? Could you take one? Could you take one?
After we ended up buying a few bottles, we posed for a picture. Nice picture. We left the Cupola Winery and had time to visit the Trione Winery. After tasting their stuff, which at this point it all tasted pretty good, we took off for Vacaville. We all were invited to Bob and Denise's house for a barbecue. Because of backcountry poor roads and traffic, it took nearly 4 hours to make the 65-mile trip. That's about 15 miles per hour. So, when we finally arrived, we were a little unnerved. But we soon settled down to some easy conversation in the kitchen, the usual place. Easy conversation is so appreciated in this day and age of serious stuff. Let's listen.
What? Oh. It's close to my...
Directors. Put the camera right up there. I'm looking to see where it says Coppola on it, but it's director's cut.
I can put the tripod out for you, dude, if you
Francis
want.
Ford. And this is the one you like, the light one.
I've never tasted a wine that has citrus in it.
Okay, you like that one.
Very subtle.
You have that all over Northern California.
Yeah.
No, it's the first time I actually, you're going to laugh,
Bunch of
first time I've been to several wineries. First time I ever went in to taste.
We got them to taste.
They were surprised.
Yeah.
Jeanette and Bill were. You're not?
Well, that's not the case for us.
No.
We're professional
They don't
tasters.
like, we're like, right to the bar.
Okay, they're coming
Show you how
out.
it's done.
Where shall
Well,
we go?
he said you'd be better off buying a bottle and drinking. I said, well, that's what you do. You go to the winery, you see what you like, and the next time you go back, you buy a bottle of what you like, and you sit down and
A
have
lot of times they charge you for the tasting, and then they take that off of whatever you buy.
it. Yeah, in this case, Copley had to buy 4 bottles. They were taking.
Yeah, you have wine, yeah.
Why don't you buy
But
it at the
what
time?
a
And I don't know
nice,
why
you ever
we
go
don't do
there?
it.
Oh,
Why do you have
see
to come
everything?
Bring them all over to you. That's very nice.
Oh, because when
we
you're doing
like
the
that.
tasting, I mean,
for
you don't,
us,
you know, it's
coming
too
in
much.
first time.
I'm just saying, like,
It was
Yeah,
fun.
but
know your
before you
winery.
left the winery, on that trip, you could take a bottle back. So you don't have to come back, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you do it occasionally, you know what vineyards have what wines. Then
Oh, yeah.
Rather than doing a tasting, you say, I'll have a bottle of whatever. You sit down, you can have that instead.
Right. Or sometimes we taste and we just buy that bottle of wine, and
Yeah.
we have our picnic right there.
Yeah.
There's a winery outside of Hillsburg. It's really rustic, and they have gardens, and we ride our bikes out there, and there's a whole loop. And you go all the way out to the end, and they bake bread. This rustic
Oh.
bread, and it's hot.
Where was
It's ready
that?
to go,
Was
and
that
there's
in
cheese. It's called Preston.
We should have known that yesterday, we walked around.
Oh my gosh. And it was, and so it's
Went
way
there
out
last
in the
night.
country.
We did go last night
Oh, you did?
and walked around.
And we actually had enough wine, we were looking for a cup of coffee, and
Oh, you
there's
didn't
not one
find
to be found.
Not on the far, on the east side, none of the
No, that
coffee
was
shops
closed.
were
It
open?
was
All of them
closed.
were late, yeah. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, 'cause
Well,
what's it,
thanks to
Go
them.
Talk, Go.
And then we're
and
sitting there,
Uncle
and Jim goes,
bought the
well,
wine.
what's about the
Yeah.
time, Jim? And Jim goes, what?
This one.
No.
This one came from there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you feel obligated, you know?
Yeah, and look at the label.
You feel a little obligated to buy
Even
it.
though you got it for free. He did.
Open his business, attract people,
Oh, yeah.
then everybody else can
The
come.
people mustn't go out at night. There's probably no.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They have, in the summer and winter, on
Sacrifice
Thursday
lamb.
nights, they have a big queue.
Well, we got the hint that it was time to eat. You don't see much of Bob in this movie because he was busy tending the barbecue to perfection. Served up now with a beautiful table setting, all that remained was to enjoy. Thank you, Bob and Denise. On the next day, it was back on the road for more sightseeing. One interesting place they visited was the Jelly Bean Factory. Later came a relaxing visit to another winery, which signaled an end to the visit up north. It was time to head home. Jeanette and Billy took off back to New York, and Jan, Jim, and Jeanette took off for Southern California. There, when Jeanette wasn't playing with Puma, she mostly enjoyed sitting around relaxing and reading, and, of course, gabbing. By the time Father's Day came around, Bobby had arrived, and Courtney, Adam, and MJ and Avery, and Kimmy and Jimmy came by to celebrate the occasion. As usual, everybody settled in the kitchen. Not sure what it is about kitchens, but most people like to hang out there when there's a gathering.
I'm a sous chef.
Before dinner, the kids enjoyed themselves goofing around in the courtyard and playing on the grass. Dinner was ready, so we all sat down at the table and made ourselves comfortable while we enjoyed a great meal. Our time at the table was spent eating and gabbing. Normally, long periods in a movie showing people sitting around a table is not interesting to viewers. But in this case, we kept the camera rolling in order to capture the subtle moments Jeanette and others interfacing with MJ and Avery.
Oh, she's giving you one. And she gave you a kiss.
Here, you see Jeanette playing peekaboo with Avery,
She's giving her smooches.
and Jan doing the same with MJ.
Good job.
Now, a clapping lesson.
You almost
Did you really want her?
Yeah.
She needs her butt wiped off first.
Yeah, I'll pull them off. It's
What's
blue.
that black thing?
It's just blueberry
Ew.
Oh,
Sad blueberry.
and raspberry.
You know what?
Oh, sorry.
Give her a pop. It's picture time. You sure?
No,
Are you positive?
I am more.
That one right here on the shoulders? Family.
Is it something you want?
At this point, we started clearing the dishes off of the table while Courtney is having a conversation with one of the twins. So there was like 40 of us now. There's probably another 30 of them. And every piece of furniture is broken and thrown in fist fights. Short
Hi.
from both the HMS category
Hi.
came from the base and
And a W.
if you're not bored now, you will be if we continue with these table scenes for longer than 30 seconds from now.
Really nice guys like that. The good guys?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we go into insult them.
Like flies, you mean?
I'm coming.
Next, we open some Father's Day gifts. Let's watch. We soon called it a day. All were a little tired from all of the commotion. On the following day, we went back to our routine of just kicking back. Here, Jeanette gets back to reading, but not for long, when she decides to have another play session with Puma.
You wanna go out? You wanna go out? Huh? You wanna go
Let's
out?
watch all the flirtation that takes place here.
Okay, come here, come here. He's a nice kitty. Yeah.
Even with this, we were not successful in convincing Jeanette that a cat like this would give her lots of companionship. We think of Jeanette's time visiting with Jan and Jim at their home as a fun time to remember. It's always nice when things turn out the way you want them to. And Jeanette, having a week of the easy life, resting, reading, sketching the mountains, and meeting and playing with the twins, will always be a time to be remembered. And with that, it seems like a good time to close this movie. We covered a lot of ground over the 11 straight days of celebrating Jeanette's 80th birthday party. We saw us visit the ocean. We participated in the joyous party greetings. We enjoyed a wonderful party dinner. We participated in a party birthday song and had a taste of the delicious birthday cake. We saw the mural on the building wall that Jeanette helped paint. We witnessed the trip to the Cupola Winery. We saw us visit the Trione Winery. We enjoyed the barbecue at Bob and Denise's house. We observed the visit to the Jelly Bean Factory. We saw visits to other wineries. We watched a Father's Day celebration. We observed Puma and Jeanette's renewed affection with each other after 5 years. And we enjoyed being part of Jeanette's meeting MJ and Avery. Yes, all this, memories to keep forever.